Hello and welcome to Get the Scoop with Smirks. This is episode 15, and we're diving into a topic essential to Smirk's mission and our partnerships: quality assurance. At Smirks, as a leading supplier of conventional and organic ingredients, our mission goes beyond transactions. We're all about building trusted partnerships and delivering quality ingredient solutions. Our quality assurance or QA team is a huge part of that. They ensure that we consistently uphold high standards in quality and food safety so that our customers can feel assured that we will meet or exceed their needs. Today, I'm excited to welcome two people who play a key role in our QA processes. We have Tara Hettinger, our QA director, and Garrett McBride, who oversees operations at Smirks. They'll help us understand what goes on behind the scenes in QA. Hello, Tara. Hello, Garrett. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Elisa.
Hey there.
All right. Well, let's get rolling. Tara, let's start with you. What are some of the main goals of the QA team, and how do you make sure they align with Smirk's broader mission and vision?
Our goal in the QA department is to provide partnerships with not only our customers, but our suppliers as well, Elisa. Smirks has a very rigorous vetting process and assesses potential risks not only for us, but our customers that are purchasing products from us. We require and analyze between 30 and 40 quality and food safety documents from our suppliers during the vetting process. We are very transparent with our suppliers in what we are looking for and what we need, and the same mentality is then passed on to our customers. One of our goals is to be quick to respond to our customers' needs in an efficient and effective manner. We do not want our customers waiting on us for questions to be answered or documents to be sent. They usually need this information either to move on with their production or may even be in the midst of an annual audit, which we all know is stressful. We aim to be very detailed and organized up front when vetting our suppliers to help us achieve this goal with our customers. Smirks currently manages over 60,000 supplier documents in our system, which, believe me, is not an easy task to do. I have two phenomenal girls, Danielle and Kelsey, in our QA department that help manage and take care of these. They are integral to this department at Smirks being successful.
At 60,000 documents, that is bananas. Adding to that, Smirk's QA team goes above and beyond by thoroughly vetting all of our suppliers. We review every quality document, looking for orange or red flags. When possible, make on-site visits to our suppliers. That's what I love to do. Not only verifying that everything checks out on paper, but building the relationships and seeing their facilities firsthand, making sure that they're doing everything that they say they're doing all the time.
That's an interesting point, Garrett. You've traveled extensively for Smirks, meeting suppliers and inspecting their facilities. Could you share a little bit about your approach on these visits, and what are you typically looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. This is my favorite thing to do. I absolutely love this, and a big part of the reason I joined the Smirks team. During these visits, my goal is to manage and mitigate risk for Smirks and for our customers, and to build and nurture the strong partnerships with our suppliers. Ultimately, I serve as the food safety and quality assurance boogeyman, because what I observe can make or break a supplier's future in doing business with Smirks, and can make or break Smirks' future with our customers, because everybody needs high quality food safe ingredients. While on site, I scrutinize anything and everything from the physical condition of their facilities to their product handling practices, pest and rodent control measures, foreign material detection systems, process documentation, and anything else we've identified as being a risk for a given supplier or product category. I take a trust but verify approach, and these face-to-face interactions make a huge difference in building a reliable partnership and allowing us to have faith in the practices of the folks that we choose to do business with.
I guess you didn't have to dress up for Halloween, Garrett. You already hold the title of boogeyman. But in all seriousness, I know that those face-to-face on-site visits are such an important step in laying the foundation for a strong relationship with our suppliers. Now turning back to Tara. Smirk's customers and suppliers work with you daily, Tara, I know. And however, they've never really gotten to know perhaps the person behind the emails and the phone calls. Could you tell us a little bit about your professional background?
Sure, Lisa. In my younger years, my mom, she was a manager in the food safety or food service industry. And I decided at that point as a teenager to follow in her footsteps and go into restaurant management as well. Spent a couple years at our junior college here in Sterling, Colorado, and then ended up transferring to UNLV in Las Vegas. As moved back to Colorado after Las Vegas, and as things evolve in life, I realized the city life just wasn't for me, and my husband and I started dating. I lived in Denver at the time, and he lived in our small town of Marino where I grew up. And after a few months of dating, I made the decision to move back to Marino, back to my roots. There's not a lot of food service opportunities in our area, so I ended up managing the quality assurance and laboratory along with all OSHA regulations at our local ethanol processing facility. As I did love the work, it just wasn't quite what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I ended up making the move to the food ingredient manufacturing world. I worked here in Fort Morgan at a sugar beet processing facility as an assistant chemist and managing the day-to-day operations, and a millet cleaning processing plant as the food safety quality assurance manager along with production scheduler. At the millet facility, that's where I worked with Donnie and the Smirks team. Over the years, Smirks was very intriguing in regards to all of the different ingredients, origins, and just the scope of business overall. So one day I gave Donnie a phone call, and it was right before the 4th of July. Had a conversation with him, and as we all know, the rest is history. I'm on my 5th year working with Smirks at this point.
That's awesome. Really fun to hear your background, Tara. And I mean, you've gone from food service to food safety. That's quite a trip. All of our listeners here would kind of love to hear what you do outside of work because it's pretty cool.
Sure. We live out in the middle of nowhere, out in the country on 36 acres. So as you can imagine, just the upkeep alone on that, it keeps us very busy throughout the entire year. But why not make ourselves even busier, right? My parents, along with my husband and myself, have about 30 head of sheep, and we raise club lambs. And these are raised for kids that are involved in showing either through 4-H or FFA. We strongly believe in our youth, and as we always say, we're helping raise phenomenal kids through these animals. My husband and I volunteer countless hours during the year for our annual county fair, which is always in August, usually the first full week, where these kids get to show off their hard work they put into their projects. So they show them, and then they in turn get to sell them for money, which helps with their projects on the following year. I'm also an avid gardener of both flowers and vegetables. Both my parents are gardeners. My dad was a farmer pretty much his entire life, and he's now has a crazy hobby of growing giant pumpkins, with his personal record being 941 pounds. He's chasing that 1,000-pounder, and
unbelievable.
Yeah, he grows everything outside, so the elements of the weather dictate a lot for him. So it's frustrating but rewarding when he gets those big ones.
For sure.
Yeah. So, and then my mom's loved to grow beautiful flowers. She has her own landscaping business after she left the food industry sector. Definitely piqued my interest years ago to kind of grow things and see what I could do with them. So this, obviously, it takes up an enormous amount of time throughout the summer, but it truly is my stress reliever. And then in other spare time I love making candy. Halloween, it's my favorite holiday. And I love making homemade caramel apples for all the kids at work. And in my personal life, this year I made 187 of them. I either sold them, gave them away for Halloween. And so that was a daunting task, but super fun.
Sounds like a labor of love.
Yeah.
And they were fantastic. Kids loved them. I loved them.
Yeah, exactly. So I love to bake, but my passion really is on the candy side. If I ever happen to win the lottery, which we all know the chances of that happening, I would own my own candy making business. So that's really in life what keeps me crazy busy and going nonstop.
That's so cool. It's so fun to hear, what people would do if they didn't have to work another day in their life. I mean, and your idea sounds pretty sweet, I gotta say. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But I know I just envisioned that, this would be like the most delicious and food safe candy company that you could ever imagine, right?
Yeah.
But it's fun to talk about that stuff. I might have told you that if I won the lottery, I'd like to work in a winery tasting room, pouring wine and chatting about wine with wine lovers all day long. It's just so much fun to have that lottery dream.
That wouldn't be a
Um,
bad gig either, Elisa.
right? I know you like wine.
Oh,
But
yes.
anyways, back to you. You've told me QA can be a boring topic, but clearly there's a lot more to it. What drives you to do this work, and what are some of the challenges you face?
I do joke that QA is boring. However, it's also very rewarding. It's really about mitigating risk and doing our best to protect the people when these products proceed downstream to consumers. Mitigating risk, it's really the name of the game. But what makes it challenging is even when the best practices, processes are in place, unexpected issues do arise. That's why we're diligent in our approval process and very organized when we do day to day. Our goal is when these situations arise, we can quickly address them for all parties involved and get through whatever we're dealing with at that point in time.
All right. Well, thanks for that. And let's shift gears. Garrett, transparency is an important value here at Smirks. How does this set us apart?
Yeah, you nailed it. Transparency has been a value of Smirks from day one. As a former Smirks customer, for the better part of a decade, I can tell you how much I appreciated that and appreciate it now from this side of the ball. We openly share all the detailed information about our suppliers, including extensive quality documents so that our customers know exactly what they're getting. No black box, no games, no funny business. You know what we know, and we're all better for it. This helps to build trust, strengthens our partnerships, which is what we all want out of this business in this world. Most others in this industry tend to keep their information inside that locked black box, hidden from customer view. We feel it's beneficial that as we develop our partnerships, that we're completely forthcoming, and that strategy has paid off as a key competitive differentiator.
Before Smirk sources and supplies an ingredient, it definitely undergoes a rigorous vetting process that we've kind of chatted about here. But can you walk us through what that process entails?
Yes, certainly. Each supplier goes through a multi-step vetting process, which is quite extensive. It often includes an on-site facility visit to verify their standards, their facility, their practices, etc. We don't just take documents at face value. We review every piece of paperwork thoroughly to make sure that they say they're doing everything right. And then, when possible, we actually lay eyes on what they're doing to verify that they're doing it in real life. We're sourcing 230 items from about 180 suppliers across 27 countries. It's a lot of work, but it ensures that we maintain the high quality standards that our customers rely on.
Garrett, thanks for sharing those stats. The sheer number of different items and suppliers and origins is truly mind blowing. Now, Tara, back
It
to
is, and
you.
it's a huge job,
Yeah, right?
nonstop, 24 hours.
It's insane. I mean, I just, when I think about that's what we're doing all day, every day, it just really astounds me.
Yeah, Tara and her team are phenomenal. They do a killer job staying on top of this, managing ongoing. It's an amazing amount of work, and it gets done tip top.
All right, now
Appreciate
back to
that.
Tara.
All right.
You're on the hot seat again. I like learning about what a day in the life looks like. So, what does the Smirks QA team do on a daily basis to support our customers?
Well, obviously, every day looks a bit different, but we're continually approving certificate of analysis on a per lot basis of product that we receive. We're comparing these COAs to the spec sheets, making sure all the testing is within the spec limitations. We check the COA against labels that's put on product. We make sure that the item description matches and that the lot numbers, production dates are within range. And this is just to name a few of the items that we're looking at on labels and certificate of analysis. We're very diligent and detailed with this process. Danielle approves our import COAs, and label templates, and Kelsey does our domestic COA and label templates. At any given time, we're answering numerous questions, filling out questionnaires, sending supplier documents to various customers. We're vetting new suppliers or ingredients for approved suppliers, along with just the upkeep of the Smirk's organic, kosher, fair trade, and the regenerative organic certifications that we hold here at Smirk's. On a continuous basis, we're requesting new up-to-date docs from suppliers that either have hard expiry dates or statements that, are dated past a year. This is just a brief glimpse, as it takes great time, coordination, and a detail-oriented mindset to do this daily. Making all of it come together in a smooth and efficient manner, it's a challenge at times, but we pride ourselves on doing this well.
There's a lot going on over there, that's for sure. And Garrett touched on it, but I just can't say enough about the fact that managing 60,000 documents alone just takes my breath away. So never a dull moment in QA. So yes, not boring. That's for sure, right,
No,
Tara?
it's definitely very busy. And when, we're busy selling, we can tell. We may not know exactly how much we're selling at the time, but we definitely feel it in the QA department by the requests that we're receiving.
I can imagine. So could you give us an example of when your QA team has really gone above and beyond for a customer?
Sure. We recently had a customer and had a very rigorous approval process. We kind of took the all hands on deck approach to fill out the forms, send supplier documents, answer remaining questions that they had. And we were fortunately able, from start to finish, to get this finalized and completed and approved by the customer within just a couple of days. They had sent an email back to us, and they were very thankful for the detail-oriented mindset, the document organization, and making them feel, more important, that they were our number one priority through that process. And as the QA department, this is exactly what we aim to do with all of our customers at any given time.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say 48 hours is like lightning speed for a new product approval, all things considered, all the parts and pieces and people involved that go into it. So that's awesome, Tara.
It's worth noting too, not just the organization within Smirks, but the organization that all of these documents and all of this information is presented to the customer, and the speed with which Tara, Danielle, and Kelsey accomplish that is another thing that sets Smirks apart from really anybody else in this business. And I know that after years of being on the purchasing side, gigantic competitive advantage for Smirks and huge for our customers. It's just a great value add from this team.
Yeah, we really try and provide everything up front to our customers. So hopefully, they have it all in their hands immediately and don't have to come back to us with further questions. It just makes their life easier as well.
Right on. Well, Garrett, let's talk a little bit about a different topic, because I think this could be helpful for some customers that are always thinking about bringing on new products. If you were advising one of our customers about launching a new food product, what advice would you give them regarding quality and food safety?
Sure, I've definitely been there before. I think the most important thing is to be patient and diligent with your exploration. There's so many options out there for every product category across a broad spectrum of cost and quality variables. It's so important to find the right fit for your project and specification needs. Take the time to really figure out what you need and do it right. Given the current landscape, one of the most important things to consider is whether you need an ingredient that is raw or ready to eat. A raw ingredient is generally less costly than RTE, which is ready to eat, but will need to be further processed to guarantee that it's safe from a microbiological standpoint. For example, if the ingredient you purchase is going into a baked product, a baked finished good, the chances are you'll be fine purchasing a raw specification, because the ingredients are undergoing a heat treatment step, which is killing the pathogens that may be present. If the ingredient's going directly into a retail package without further lethal processing to kill pathogens, you should seriously consider purchasing a ready-to-eat specification. That being one that an ingredient has undergone a kill step, specifically addressing the minimum 5-log kill for Salmonella in particular. Ingredients with a ready-to-eat designation have undergone that validated lethality step, ensuring that the pathogens are not present. We scrutinize our ready-to-eat suppliers and processes with extreme diligence to manage that potential risk for Smirks and for our customers. This is another huge differentiator between Smirks and a lot of our competitors.
Right. I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense, particularly on higher risk items. So I couldn't agree more. Thanks a lot for sharing that advice. It's super helpful, I think, to some folks out there. And in terms of when a customer is asking Smirks for a product we don't actually offer, what do we do in that situation?
Yeah, we're always willing to have a conversation with you or a potential customer around innovation and new product opportunities. If it makes sense for everybody involved, we'll do everything we can to find a new supplier and solutions and vet them thoroughly. Going back to transparency, if the item you desire is not one that we're strong on, we're also more than happy to introduce you to others in the industry that could better service your needs. We know what we're good at, and we like to leverage that. We know what other people are good at, and we want to set you up for success as the customer. We are in this for the long term, truly mutually beneficial partnerships, and really not interested in the short-sighted transactional plays. So again, we'll be transparent with you about every facet of your ingredient exploration.
Right on. Thank you so much, both of you, for being on today. But particularly, I got to say special thanks to Tara, because, yeah, we had to twist your arm a little bit to be on here. But you know what? It was so worth it, right? Am I right?
Absolutely.
It was, Elisa. You wore me down and I gave in.
I think it's fun to know the person behind the QA team, and I think it brings it to life, but it also shows your passion for what you do. So thanks for all that you do, you and your team. It's clear to me that behind every quality product, there's a dedicated team working to make sure that everything is top notch. So again, thanks to you both for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I hope this gives our listeners some insight into the great lengths that our department does go through in creating these phenomenal partnerships on both our supplier and our customer side. It goes both directions for us, for sure.
All right. Thanks, Tara and Elisa. We'll see you next time.
All right. Well, hey, that wraps up this segment of Get the Scoop with Smirks. We hope you'll subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts so you can get the latest episode when it becomes available. And if you valued this content, please share our podcast with a friend. Keep on listening in order to catch our segment 2, where Tara is going to introduce her QA team, and in the last segment, where we're going to share the latest market report for November.